Good morning. It's a beautiful day today, a great day to be riding hills. If you're someone who likes to avoid hills or find yourself crawling up on them when you come to them, keep watching the video for some top tips on how to climb a little bit more easily. So unfortunately, the first tip is not to avoid them. If you want to be better at riding hills, like if you want to get better at anything, you need to tackle them. And it may be horrible in the first place. You might find them really hard, but the more you ride them, the easier they will get. Another thing to think about is weight. Weight does make a difference climbing, whether it's your weight or the weight of the bike. It is going to affect your climbing. So if you can, try to reduce the weight. You may reduce weight yourself, and if you can lose a few pounds, that is going to make a difference. The more you lose, the lighter obviously the system weight you and the bike combined is going to be, and climbing will be that much easier. You could of course lose weight on the bike, but that could be a very expensive thing to do. Even to lose a kilo on a bike can cost thousands of pounds. Another thing that will make a big difference to climbing is the gears you've got. And ideally, especially if you're starting out, having a compact chain set will make a big difference. A compact is a 50 and a 34 ring on the front, and that's going to make your climbing easier, especially if you combine it with a large cassette on the back. And if you can fit a 34 on the back, having a 34 gear is pretty much going to get you up anything you'll find on the road. So think about compact chain set, think about changing your cassette, because gears really do make a huge difference to your ability to climb. And although you may not want to, doing repeats on a climb adds that bit of challenge into a ride, and again practicing is going to make it better. Another thing to do to make climbing a bit easier is to anticipate the climb. And I don't mean anticipate it and start getting worried because you've got a climb coming up. I mean anticipate it with your gearing. When you can see a climb coming, like this one up here, up ahead, drop down a gear, which is going to make it easier for you to spin. And if you're sort of fairly new to riding or climbing, or even if you're just getting older, spinning, as in pedaling faster, does make climbing easier. The last thing you want to do is be grinding a big heavy gear on a climb. So try to make sure that you anticipate the climb, you change down into an easier gear a bit earlier, and as you go up the climb, keep doing that. Keep dropping down the gears so you can still keep up a relatively smooth cadence, and that's going to help with your overall speed up the climb. Okay, so another tip is to think about your position on the bike. When you're riding, it's a lot easier riding to be sitting up, to be a bit taller. You're less aerodynamic, but on a climb that's not going to make so much difference, and you'll find it's a lot easier to put power down if you're sitting up and you've got a strong core. You can really keep up a rhythm on the pedals. Okay, so think about your position, try out different positions. Obviously you can stand on climbs, that does tire you out a bit more quickly, but sometimes standing can really help to relieve legs aching, just to change the position. So get up for 30 seconds or so, then sit back down again. That again can help make climbing a little bit more easier. Another thing you may not want to hear is doing intervals on a climb. Like I said, if you can, find climbs to ride up, and if you find a good one like this, do some intervals, go up to the top, then roll back down, do it again, see if you can do it 3 or 4 times, build up how many times you can do it in a row. The only way to get better at climbing really is to do more of it. So you could do short intervals. This hill's only 3 minutes or something to get up. If you've got much longer climbs near you, you could do longer intervals, maybe go up for 10 minutes, then roll back down, do another 10 minutes, roll back down, and so on. And practicing that climbing will really make a big difference. Another training thing you can do, which sounds a bit strange for climbing, is lots of zone 2 riding, because basically when you're climbing, your legs are going to be producing a lot of lactate. There's no let up, especially if you've got a 10-20 minute climb, half an hour, you're going to be producing a lot of lactate. And one of the best ways to develop the ability to use that lactate and get rid of it is by doing zone 2 riding. And if you are interested in doing that, I'll put a link at the end of this video for how to do good zone 2 rides, which are a lot easier than hill climbs, but they do develop that ability for your muscles and mitochondria to use up lactate, as opposed to it overloading your system and you just find you can't ride anymore. And lastly, with hill climbs, it is very much a mental game. It's a mental effort of mind over matter. As long as you keep pedaling and you've got low gears, you will get to the top of any climb, even high mountains. But it is having that mental capacity just to keep going, and to a certain extent putting up with the pain. But that is one of those things you can train. You can make yourself be a little bit more mentally resilient, and it's amazing what your body can do if your mind is telling it to keep going. So I hope you enjoyed this video and got some useful tips on maybe how to make your climbing a little bit easier. If you did, please like and subscribe to help the channel grow, and I'll see you next time.